Denny's been a friend for a long time. We've traveled around the country together, and he just got back from traveling around the world. But Denny's a big-time executive with American Equity and just one of my heroes, somebody I'm proud to know. And he works with some incredible people at American Equity. And so I want to turn you loose. We got a couple thousand people watching, and we're fired up. We're going to encourage them to sell some more annuities. And Denny Southern, y'all clap for him. Make it feel good.
Well, how's everybody doing? Earlier this year, I traveled to New Zealand, so I have been in the future. I just want you to know that. And speaking of being in the future, our chairman is a gentleman by the name of Dave Noble. And
one of my heroes.
I know what Andy's going to be like when he's 84 years old. And you are in for a ride, I'm telling you. Our chairman, Dave Noble, started American Equity when he was 63 years old. Like, he sold a publicly traded company, or he made the decision to sell a publicly traded company, and could have rode off onto the sunset, retired, but the only thing was, he doesn't fish, he doesn't hunt, he doesn't play cards, he doesn't play golf. Insurance business is his life. And so at 63, he retired on a Friday, and cleaning up the business, I guess the language a little bit. He said he had had enough with this company that they sold. They retained him for a little while. But oddly enough, they didn't write a very good non-compete. So on Monday morning, he put up his entire net worth.
Everything.
Plus borrowed to the eyeballs and started American Equity from scratch. So you fast forward 20 years, where we started at zero, we're now a $48 billion company. The first meeting with Andy and Mr. Noble was one I'll just never forget. Andy flies in, and it was a beautiful day, and as soon as he landed, we had a huge snowstorm. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember that day.
and
he had all his models of all his planes.
Yes, he does.
In the office. All his planes. Not his plane, all his planes. I knew I liked this guy.
Yeah. The good news is sometimes you get to travel with Mr. Noble on his planes. And the bad news is you get to travel with him on his planes. Like you are captive. There's nowhere to go.
They know.
Yes.
Some of them do.
I told you I've seen the future. And the thing that was amazing to me was they both asked each other a very direct question with regards to what they wanted out of each other. And there was no hesitation out of either one of them in terms of their answers to each other. And they are two people cut of the same cloth, I'm telling you. And that is a huge compliment. I respect you more than you know.
The other thing he had, when I walked in, he had an incredibly beautiful red carpet. And I was like, be a wolf pack. Be a wolf pack. Be a wolf pack. No. Roll Tide. Yeah. Dave Noble
was good friends with Bear Bryant, and
not surprising.
The carpet in his office is not red; it is crimson. If you ask him.
I stand corrected. Yet another mistake to my list. but go ahead.
Just real quickly, I had a trip where I had to fly all night to get back. I get back in the office about 4 o'clock. I run up the steps because we have advisors coming in from all over the country. I'm tired. Mr. Noble, we had our board meeting, which I wasn't at. Mr. Noble came back, or he recently retired, and so I come running through the door.
Okay, understand, retired, but he's there.
Yeah.
I said, he ain't like really retired, is he?
Well, he's still the chairman. So he's retired, but he is inquiring minds want to know, if you know what I'm saying. So I come running through the door. Right through the door are Debbie Richardson, the Chief Administrative Officer, and Dave Noble standing right in front of me. Now, I hadn't seen Dave in probably 3 months. And after greeting him, he was very warm in his greeting. What's going on in the Southeast? What are our production numbers? What are you doing in the office? I had to change my clothes, I'm getting ready to go. And so Debbie Richardson said, well, the last 2 quarters we did $4 billion worth of business. And I said, that's not enough. And Dave Noble goes, that is not enough. So one common characteristic is I want you to know is they keep score all the time.
That's right.
You know, and you can't play any kind of a game or you can't be successful in anything if you don't know where you're at, where you are, and where you're going. And so I just learned now and right now are the same thing. I just learned that a little bit earlier. And so there is no time like right now. And I'm telling you, there has never been a time ever to be in a better place than you are right now. And how many people are feeling a little bit uncomfortable? It's okay. If you're feeling a little uncomfortable, you are in a really good place. That's right. And another thing this company does, it just amazes me, is how much you invest in leadership. You know, the leadership skills you're taught, not just about business, but life skills, about building teams, team building, being part of a team, being part of something better, having something bigger than yourself that you're trying to do and trying to help, where all of a sudden money becomes a byproduct of what you're doing instead of the goal of what you're doing. You are in a position where you are changing lives, ladies and gentlemen, at the core level, not just at a family level, but at a generational level. And this company that you're with right now, Andy built this from nothing. And he hasn't forgot where he's been. And that's a common characteristic among uncommon people. And Andy, you're a very uncommon person in terms, let me rephrase that. You have uncommon skills. You have skills, my friend. And he invests not just into you as a business person, but he cares about who you are. I've seen him do so much for people in terms of their lives and making their lives better. You're with a great organization, and the multiplying effect and what you're doing, you're part of something big. And so, on behalf of Dave Noble, send more premium.
That's right. That's right. Love you, man. I appreciate you so much. Love you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.